Hey creative souls, welcome to ICRs, a channel for artists and illustrators. I'm Irina and I'm very happy to see you here today and every day. So I would like to offer you to make a portfolio together. We're going to make a portfolio case on Behance and we will also make a PDF or physical version of a portfolio that's still actually a thing these days. Now, portfolio is a very interesting topic, and if you are in the process of building or preparing your portfolio, it's a great video for you to watch because I will list all the bullet points that you need to follow to be effective with your portfolio. By the way, I also have a PDF guide that lists every single page that your portfolio needs to have, so it's attractive, professionally done, and successful, right? You want to get the clients, collaborators with your portfolio. That's the goal for that thing, right? Portfolio. Let's start with what is a portfolio. An illustrator's portfolio is a collection of their best work that showcases their skills, style, and creativity. It serves as a visual representation of their abilities and is often used to attract potential clients, employers, and collaborators. A well-curated portfolio should effectively communicate the illustrator's unique artistic voice and demonstrate their proficiency in various techniques, mediums, and subject matters. There are certain key components to your portfolio, but do not forget that your portfolio is you. I would advise you to first of all know your audience. Say you want to illustrate a children's book, right? So your portfolio needs to have what? The illustrations that would showcase the potential clients that you are capable, that you can do this job and you do it well. So you learn, you know how to draw backgrounds, you're good with composition, colors, characters. It's actually illustrating children's books. A children's book is a complicated task at first, but if you have any questions about that, I would be happy to share whatever I can with you since I feel that I'm experienced in that topic. Now, first of all, in your portfolio, you need to have a selection of work, right? You need to have different things. Characters, boys, girls, animals, adults, anthropomorphic creatures, book illustrations. You can include the thumbnails, spreads, separate illustrations, book covers, and sketches, mock-ups, any concept projects if that's your thing. If you're doing stickers, if you're into lettering, any process of your work, as well as your art, of course. That could be personal illustrations or work you've done for other clients. For me, it could be botanical illustration as well, but you see how different that is? So I'm sure that that requires a separate portfolio in my case. Any other relevant projects that would demonstrate your skills. Aim for the strongest work. We do not want to oversaturate our portfolio with a lot of different illustrations or artworks. We want to showcase only the best. It could be hard sometimes because I personally love almost every single illustration of mine because like I've shared myself in there. But think about it. It's very good to ask a third opinion, a fourth opinion about what is your best work, because sometimes we can't really see it in perspective, so to say. If you have artwork that you've done already for the client, that could be also a great idea to include it in there. And you could even include the information for the client, why you were doing it, and just maybe some brief description of the project. Consistency. That's something that is often omitted by the illustrators. The reason so is that I'm drawn to not maybe different styles, but something you really need to avoid is, say, on one page you would have a full colored illustration with kids, and on another page you will have something a little bit more like Inktober situation type of thing, themed with something more scary and horror, because these two don't really work very well together. So these could be two different portfolios depending on the type of client you're looking for. So try to be consistent. So your style should be consistent because it should look like one person actually illustrated it. So in the beginning of your journey and right now, of course, depending on how much time passed, your style could look pretty different. So it's a good idea to include only the pieces that you've illustrated recently, because that's who you are right now. Presentation is key, and again I will remind you that read my guide because that will help you with that 100%. Do not forget to use only high quality images. Consider organizing your portfolio into categories, so it's not just like, what is that I'm looking at? It needs to attract, like a good book. Your potential client will be reading it like, I like that. It looks so neat and so organized. That's very important, guys, believe it or not. As important as your artwork. Now, I've already briefly mentioned it. You could also include some context and description. That could help to understand the process behind each piece a lot better. And if you showcase the work that, say, was already done for a client, that's also good. Now, it doesn't need to be like the full story, just a little bit, maybe what mediums you used, maybe the little history of that artwork, that will help. Contact information, of course, and a piece about yourself. As far as contact information, if you have a website, include that. Social media, you can include that, but your email is, I think, the most important thing, because most likely, if I'm a publisher, for example, and I want to contact you, I wouldn't go on Instagram. Yes, I could check you out, but if I just, because they receive so many portfolios, so if, say, I like this one, I could start and go and look at it further, but I need to see how I can contact you directly. In the about section, you could tell maybe how long you've been illustrating, where you learned to illustrate it, or whether you're a self-taught illustrator. There's nothing wrong with that. And because I know a lot of people, they are afraid of that because, oh my God, I didn't go to any college. Or that's fine. If your artwork is great, if you learn that on your own, you spend a lot of hours doing that, that's actually something to be proud of. If it's possible and you have access to industry professionals, mentors, it's always a good idea to ask about their feedback or their opinion on your portfolio. Sometimes you could even email your portfolio, say, to the publishers and ask them what they think. Kindly ask them what they think. Some of them will give you feedback, and that's like vital. This feedback is the most important thing you can get. Of course, if you get an order, that's amazing, but the feedback is something that will build your portfolio even better. So knowing all these things, knowing that you need to update your portfolio regularly, that's important, because obviously if you continue making new work, but you should, now this means that if you have new illustration, you realize that what you could add, what you could remove, you can send those portfolio again, and who knows, maybe that new piece would attract that attention that you need. So portfolio is something that you must have, and I'm here to help you do it. Together, we're going to make, again, a project on Behance, but for that, you need to have some pieces. You need to put some work in there. So right now, think about it, what orders, what clients you want to attract? What do you want to do with your artwork? Say, if you're doing botanical illustration, maybe that's a book. Maybe you want to have some orders from Target, making postcards. Just think about it, do your research, and that's what you will need to include in your portfolio. Because how are we going to make portfolio if there is nothing to put in it? So we're going to do that in a PDF version of your portfolio that you can email to the potential clients. You always have it ready. So we will talk about that as well. I'm super excited. What about you? Do you guys have a portfolio already? Do you like it? Is it time to update? Do you want to improve it? Do you have any questions? I would be very happy to chat with you in the comments. And I wish you all the best in your illustrator's journey. Treat it as a journey. Don't forget to practice and always believe in yourself like it's the last thing you can do. And I'll see you in my next video.